comic book based movie that was released on Netflix a few days ago. It stars Charlize Theron, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and look, I'm not going to do that thing where I usually fumble about and I either mispronounce someone's name or I forget their name. I want to be more respectful than that. I've actually taken the liberty of writing their names down, and I will spell their names out for you right here. Let's see. Kiki Lane. Kiki Lane is in this movie. Next, we got Matthias Schoenaerts. Is it Schoenaerts? Schoenaerts? Schoen? Show me the money. So how do you say your name, dude? For the purposes of this video, he's just gonna be Matthias Cho. We're just gonna go with that. We have Marwan Kenzari. I'm sure you guys haven't forgotten about Jafar from Aladdin. Was Aladdin really that long ago? Was it like 5 years ago? It feels like it was 5 years ago, but I'm pretty sure it was actually last year. Aladdin, bring me the lamp and you shall receive your just reward. We also have Luca Marinelli, and we have Dudley. You know, Dudley from Harry Potter. I don't care, man. I put too much time and energy into the Harry Potter franchise for him to have a regular name. You don't get to have a regular name after all that time. So no, I'm sorry. Your name is just Dudley. You're Dudley from here on on. Sorry, dude. Like I said, this is a movie based on a comic book that I actually haven't read and didn't know about. Charlize Theron is the leader of this group of immortal warriors. These are warriors who have lived for hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of years. They can't get old. They can't age. They can't die. They heal from every wound, even if it's a fatal wound. In modern day, they're serving as mercenaries for hire. They're basically going around the world doing odd jobs, trying to make the world a better place. There's this corporation that really wants them because, you know, they want to exploit their immortality or whatever, so they have to try to keep themselves underexposed while at the same time training a new recruit. There's a new member of the group who just found out that she's immortal, so they have to kind of show her the ropes while also trying to stay ahead of this corporation. Man, what is it about Charlize Theron, man? And not only is she fine as hell, not only is she a great actress, but it's like when it comes to action roles, why is she such a badass? She's like the ultimate badass when it comes to action roles nowadays. I don't know what it brings out in this woman, but every time she has an opportunity to perform her own stunt work and to be in a movie that has a lot of big action scenes and stuff, she sinks her teeth into them, okay? She throws herself into it. You gotta respect the commitment there. All of the stunt performers in this movie and the actors who also did some of their own stunts in this movie, bravo to all of you guys, because the stunt work in this movie is incredible. It's some of the best stunt work you're gonna see in any action movie this year. Even if you have an action scene that is not filmed in a very special or stylistic way, stunt work can save it. Stunt work can make even the most bland and mediocre action scene look like it means business. And in this movie, the action scenes are business. This movie really does play with the concept of being immortal. And anytime you have characters that are immortal, it's hard to create a lot of tension in action scenes because you know they're going to be fine. They're going to heal from whatever, even if they get hit. Like, it's hard to create a lot of real tension from those type of stakes. So instead of physical stakes, you kind of got to raise the emotional stakes in a movie like this. Luckily, that is where the old guard really excels and blew me away because I was surprised at the level of detail, the effort that went into fleshing out these characters, making them as flawed and human and real as possible. Loneliness, the tragedy that comes with that, the pain of always living. The way that this movie dealt with that, the way it broke it down, the way it dealt with it as a concept and spread it out amongst the characters, it was just great to see. And it was great to see an action movie that could have just devolved into a bunch of mindless action actually slow down and focus on character. Like, that's good job, movie. I'm proud of you. It's a fascinating ass story. Like, there are some flashbacks that are in this movie that kind of flesh out some of the backstory for some of the characters. To be honest, you could watch an entire movie based on that. Like, I saw some of the flashbacks and I was like, hey, yes, that, but just let's make an entire movie of that. Let's watch that. I would watch the shit out of that. Watching this movie did make me more interested for like a Vandal Savage type of movie where we really get to break down the inner workings of being immortal and what kind of effect that would have on a person and what kind of effect that person would have on society. Because this movie does ask the question, you're immortal and you have the skills that these people do and you want to try to make the world a better place. Is it worth it? Are you really making the world a better place? I like the way this movie tackled all of that, and it also does a great job at setting up the lore and the rules of this immortality and their abilities without bogging you down in the details, without overwhelming you with a bunch of exposition, trying to over-explain things. They leave some things open-ended, definitely stuff that you can explore in a sequel. There's a lot of directions they could take with this. So if you haven't seen this movie, I definitely would encourage you to check it out because the more people check it out, the more chance we have of getting a sequel. As far as issues with the movie, I do feel like even though there are good action scenes in this movie, they're not necessarily filmed or shot in the best way possible. It's really not a lot of stylistic flair. It's missing that kind of visceral thrill, that bone-crunching oomph that you would like to see in an action movie like this. Like, a lot of people are going to see some of the stunt work, and they're going to be reminded of choreography that maybe you've seen in the John Wick movie. And I love the fact that John Wick is basically an adjective that you use to describe other action movies. Like, that's how iconic Keanu is right now. God bless Keanu. God bless John Wick, the man who killed a man with a fucking pencil.
A fucking pencil? Who does that, right? Not anybody in this movie, I'll tell you that.
The action scenes are good. I just feel like they're kind of bland compared to the stunt work, and the way that they're filmed, you just can't help but walk away feeling like maybe they could have had a little bit more bite, a little bit more edge to them. The main crime with this movie is the main villain, Dudley. I mean, oh God. The main villain in this movie, he's a joke. You're bored with him every time he's on screen. His motivations are all over the place. Like, he's a cartoon character in like the worst way possible. He feels like he was dropped into this movie from another movie. The entire time I'm watching him, I'm just like, yo, Harry, come get your boy, man. Come get your bitch. Dudley, just put a broomstick up his ass. I don't care what you gotta do. Get Dudley out of here, man. Ain't nobody got time for this. Terrific ideas about immortality in a modern setting. I definitely would be interested in seeing more. The Old Guard was a pretty interesting take on the comic book genre. I'm gonna leave this one in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. So those are my thoughts on The Old Guard. Tell me, have you seen it? What is your favorite Charlize Theron movie of all time? Put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. And as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.